Hey guys, welcome back to Manila Scuba Divers. We are in Subic this morning. More specifically, we are at Mango's Resort. We're going to be diving with Mango's Dive Center. And traffic is pretty atrocious here. Well, you know, there's only so many ways in and out of Subic, and the downtown area in Subic, you got to be careful there because there's a lot of cops there. They're not really looking out for your safety. That's my personal opinion. They're not even there for the traffic flow. I think they just want to ticket you. But I didn't get pulled over yet this morning. Hopefully I don't get pulled over yet this afternoon. But hey, come join us. We're gonna go check out what Subic has to offer. We really don't know which dive site we're gonna be at this morning, but we're gonna give it a go. All right, guys, we are in a treat today because we got Ken. We caught Ken. Ken is the head honcho here at Mango's Dive Center, right, Ken? Is that correct?
Well, one of them. There's two of us. There's my business partner and myself, and we own Mango's Dive Center here in Subic Bay, home of what we think the most fabulous wreck diving in the Philippines. You can see it up on the board over here. So Subic's a pretty unique area. We're about a 2.5-hour drive from Manila. Since the Skyway is done, it's fast, it's easy, it's painless. Short boat rides in the bay, maybe 25 minutes to the first dive site. We do a dive, little surface interval, then do another dive and come back. We dive every day, 7 days of the week. 2 dives in the morning, 1 dive in the afternoon.
All boat dives, or they're shore entry?
No, it's pretty much all boat dives.
Okay.
So back in the early 90s, Mount Pinatubo blew, which emptied a lot of ash in this area and also into the bay. And so the bottom composition of the bay has got quite a bit of ash in it. Subic gets kind of a bad rap once in a while because people hear from other friends that they went diving and the visibility was really poor. And that's true. Some of the wrecks can have some poor visibility on certain days, depending on tides, depending on currents, depending on boat traffic. But overall, the whole bay isn't like that, and you'll be really surprised at people that come here the first time usually keep coming back and coming back and coming back because it's excellent diving, easy to get to. You know, it's just there's no airplane rides, no ferries. You can just drive up from Manila or Clark.
Yeah, it took me about 2.5 hours from Manila to drive this morning.
Yeah.
So there is no dive season, right? People tend to wait until it's quote unquote summer to come here. You're saying that you can actually just come here when you hear that it may be silty, but that's just some parts of the other harbor bays,
Exactly.
right?
Now we do have
other dive sites available.
Rainy season corresponds with rainy season with the rest of Luzon.
Correct.
So we get hit a little hard in July, August, September. So those aren't, if you're planning a trip to come here specifically during those months to go diving, and you have another choice, you might use that other choice to do it. So I mean, you're November, December, January. So January, February, March, April are our driest months, and the best visibilities and the best weather, other than it can be a little windy sometimes. But since we're in the bay for almost all of the dives, everything's very protected.
Right.
And so yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I've been here for 6 years. My partner's been in the Philippines. He's been in the Philippines for 29 years. And got a great little shop. We've got 7 Filipino staff members, boat captains, and guides to help everybody out. It's all aqualung equipment. Everything's well maintained.
So before I pan over to your left to get some footage of your shop. This is not a standalone dive shop. This is actually part of a hotel, which is Mango's Resort, right? So if you're looking for the directions, look for Mango's Resort.
Yeah.
Right? Speaking of boats, how many boats do you have?
We have 2 bancas. We have a small one that accommodates about 6 divers, and the bigger one we can get up to 15.
Perfect.
So the big banca right now is just over at our other shop.
Okay, so I'm going to pan over here. Let's go to the shop.
Irene.
This is Irene. But so as I was talking, hi Irene. This is your restaurant area. There's the bar. People always ask me if there's a bar, but yep, there's the ocean front. And Irene's in the shop. Gonna pop my head in the shop just to look at the quality of the rental equipment. All right. Looks very decent. Aqualung.
We're waiting for his buddy here.
Awesome. So they don't have a compressor on site, but they do order it? Or do you order it, or does it come from the other service shop that you guys own?
No, we own another shop,
Okay.
which is our we call it our service center. It has where we do our boat repairs, our compressor. It has a classroom. It has where we repair regulators and equipment, and we opened it up as a secondary shop. But it's really difficult to try and get people to come to two locations and run boats back and forth. So we pretty much run everything out of Mango's and use the other one as a service center. So what happens is after the dives today, the Banco will go back to our other shop at Dakudo's Resort, drop off tanks, pick up new ones, and so we just keep them replenished here all the time. Okay. If we need more, we just literally load them on a trike and send them over here.
Awesome.
So,
now, speaking of tanks, last question.
Yep.
You guys offer nitrox?
Yep. We have air and nitrox. Yeah.
Air and nitrox. Awesome. Well, Ken, I know I'm going to enjoy my dives this morning.
I know you will.
Thanks for your time.
You betcha.
And we'll see you out on the boat. All right, we got Craig back here for a little show and tell. We're almost at the dive site, so we're south of the airport.
We're just pulling up behind the other boat there.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the LST. It's a landing ship tank. It was US Navy World War II. After World War II, according to legend around here, it was surplus to requirement, and they used it as target practice. They sank it. It was hit at the stern and went down here, sits flat on the bottom, as you see there on the picture. It sits at around at 27 to the top area of the deck, down to 36 to the bottom. Today's dive, after we exit the boat, we're going to swim towards the line which is attached to the ship. The line is not here anymore. The line has been moved to the center area over this end. So when we come down the line, we're the surface, positively buoyant, we're all okay, ready to go, down we go. Take it nice and easy, let's stick together as a group. We don't want to have anybody tear off down to the bottom in a hurry. There's no rush here, we take everything very, very easy. When we get to the bottom, follow me. I will take you along this side, the starboard side of the ship, towards the bow. Now the bow is where most of the marine life is situated. You'll see a lot of yellowtail schools of fish here. You'll see all kinds of varieties of everything on this ship. Points of interest, you'll see circular areas at the front. That was, they had guns placed inside those. Those guns are long gone, but they're still there. This wreck suffered a bit of damage in the last earthquake we had. It used to have stairwells and hallways and things we used to be able to penetrate, but that is all gone now. It's collapsed in the center. So our plan is to come up to the bow, swim down along the bow, and then come back up, and then work around this area slowly and easily. Just take in what's there. You'll see a lot of air vents. You'll see a lot of pieces of the ship that's still attached. As we come back, we work our way back towards the line. All the way, just taking your time. What you'll see is some batfish. They get there in a school. They're really friendly. They'll come right up to your mast. You'll be able to almost touch them. They're very cool like that. When we get back to the line, make sure you watch your no stop limit. I have this route worked out, whereas I'm back towards the line within about 2 or 3 minutes. Watch your computers may be more conservative. If they are, just tell me when you get down to 2 and we can work it from there. But when we get back to the line, slowly on the way up, if you wish to do a deep stop, you can do the deep stop. If not, we come back up to 5 meters for 3 minutes. That's our safety stop, and then we're back to the boat. So that's our basic dive plan. Any questions? Any concerns?
So, Craig, we're tied up to another boat here. Does that mean they're diving too, or?
Yeah, they'll be diving there. Just watch out for them.
The divers.
They may be ascending when we're descending, so just go around them. Don't go through them.
What about the water temperature?
Water temperature is about 28 to 29 degrees.
Water temperature is nice.
It's only when you come up and it's windy that you get
All right.
cool.
All right, we're gonna go gear up.
Let's gear up.
Looks exciting. I'll wait for you down there. Hey, Marlon, water. Where's the other boat? All right, here we go. El Capitan, Craig.
El Capitan here in Subic Bay. El Capitan was a cargo ship for a lumber company in the US. It was sequestered by the US government to do some work here in World War II. It did a lot of cargo work in the Asia Pacific area. It was struck by a Japanese torpedo at one point, repaired, and continued to work here until the war was over. When the war was over, they brought it up to this small bay, and according to legend, a typhoon came along and it went down. We have a local historian here that actually believes it was scuttled on purpose. Mostly perhaps they just didn't want the ship back from wherever it came from. It's 91 meters long, lays down on its port side at the maximum depth. Even though the chart does say 24 meters, that is the end of one of the masts down here. The bottom of the ship sits at about 18 meters deep. So our dive will begin while we're in the water, positively buoyant down the line. When we come down the line, we'll be at the bow of the ship. We're at the bow of the ship. I'm going to ask everybody if we're okay to continue. If we're good, we'll continue forward. We'll swoop around the bow. You'll see the mast still sitting here. Again, this had a gun, as you can see in the small photo, in the circular area at the front. As we come back around here, if you go underneath the masts, just of course be careful, watch your head, and swoop down through here. Here you will see the big cargo bay. From the cargo bay, we come along towards the bottom of the ship here. You'll see a lot of structure. There's a lot of fish activity in the center area of the ship. Across the smokestack, up here, past cargo bay 2, cargo bay 3, then around to the top, up onto the rudder. The rudder sits there, the propeller is long gone. And then from here, I'll just ask you guys, do you want to go and see some giant clams we have here in Subic Bay?
Yes.
Yes, well we will
Is the
go...
correct answer?
We will go uphill. We will go up the hill from the rudder, and there's giant clams that lay in about 3 meters of water around here. It's very interesting. They're quite beautiful. From there, we will come back down, and then we will swoop along the deck of the ship here, across the middle. Again, just having a look at the structure from a different angle. And then we're up to the gunnel. And so we get towards the front, we'll come up again to the gunnel, swoop our way along here. You get to see the ship from a different perspective, looking down at it. And then back up to the top. The very top of this ship here is 3 meters deep. This will be our safety stop along the way back. Up in this area, you'll be able to see the bottom of the ship. A lot of coral, a lot of marine life, things like that. All along the top of the hull, you'll see parrotfish feeding. You'll see all kinds of small creatures. You'll see damselfish, and you'll see clownfish, things like that in this area. Around here, you'll see sweet lips, large snapper, rabbitfish. They get around. You'll see lots of those in this area here. Then we're on our way back and back towards the line. We've done our safety stop. We'll just come back up towards the boat. That's pretty much the El Capitan. Any questions? No?
So I was surprised from our last dive that there was a 30-minute dive limit. Is there a 30-minute dive limit here too? Or
because
it's
much more shallow, our
Okay.
no-stop limit is much longer. I
Okay.
expect us to complete this dive in about 50 minutes.
Okay,
I would
perfect.
say. And we'll still be well within our limits at that
Alright.
point.
Good to know.
Okay, so we have had a resident turtle around here recently, so hopefully we can see him. And there'll be some stingrays and things like that along the bottom there.
Perfect.
Okay,
All right.
there we
There you
go.
go.
Thank you.
All right, so that's the dive. There's mangoes. I'm actually parked. They asked me to move my car next to their place, which is Icon. But we had a blast. It is hot right now. It's 35 degrees Celsius in Manila. So I'm not in any rush to get back. There's nothing there but heat and traffic. But it's about 2:30. We had lunch as well. Great food. I want to come back. I think we had a blast, right? This is the best dive experience I've had in the Manila area, right? No, not a single dive in Anilao compares to Subic, and that's mainly because of the wreck. The El Capitan wreck was awesome. Anilao, as great as it is, they don't have the wrecks. And as you saw, we penetrated, and it was a great wreck. My flashlight didn't work on the second penetration, but hey, no big deal, right? Because you're with awesome dive buddies that you know will support you. But anyhow, we'll catch you next time. Thank you for joining us on this dive.